If you're trying to get your first dunk and you just can't get up there, or you're very close, you might want to watch this video. Getting your first dunk and increasing your vertical jump is very simple. You only need two things: force and speed. Force is all about increasing your strength. Increasing your strength so you can produce more force. And then speed is all about being explosive, moving as quick as possible. You put those two together and you'll be dunking easily. You have to train to train. Training to train means before you do any power or plyometrics or vertical jump training, you have to make sure that your body is strong enough to handle those loads in the first place. So that means you have to do something called periodized training. All that means is that you're gonna go through training phases, and each phase is a different focus. 4 to 6 weeks, different focus every single time. For example, 3 different phases: strength, power, explosiveness. See, now for your strength, what it's gonna look like is you're gonna be doing a lot of the big lifts. Increasing your squat, deadlift, Bulgarian split squat, making sure you're getting as strong as possible. In this phase, you're also gonna be increasing your joint strength and increasing your mobility. Because if you can't move properly, there's a higher chance of you getting hurt, and we don't want that. Usually this phase could last anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks. After the strength phase, this is where we go into power. Power bridges the gap between strength and speed, because in this phase, you're gonna be decreasing the weight but lifting as fast as possible. So you can do explosive squats or box squats, explosive RDLs, hang cleans, power cleans. You can even do weighted jumps just to give your body the stimulus that it needs to be able to jump higher. The reason why you gotta do a power phase is you have to teach your body to move fast and produce force quickly, because the more force you can produce in a short amount of time, the higher your vertical goes. And finally, explosiveness. This is where you're gonna be doing a lot of jumping exercises, a lot of plyometrics, step jumps, broad jumps, continuous box jumps, hurdles, tuck jumps. You're still gonna be lifting, but you're gonna be lifting your weight as fast as possible. You wanna go low reps, so make sure that you're resting as long as you need, at least 2 to 5 minutes. See, now vertical jump, it's all about the technique. If you're able to clean up your technique, you'll be able to jump that much higher. There are 3 things that you need to know about vertical jump technique: stay low, stay fast, and arm swing. Let me show you what it looks like. You want your last 2 steps to be the fastest ones. This is called your penultimate step. Your penultimate step is the gather before you take off. The easiest way you can practice this is take 1 step forward and see how low you already naturally go. And then from there, you're gonna do something called the block foot. The block foot is that final step before the pop. Now, listen to this. You want that every single time. So when you're hitting that block foot, you wanna hit it on the balls of your feet or even on your toes. You never wanna block foot flat-footed. You're gonna kill all your momentum and decrease your jump. And then the last thing you want to include in that is your arm swing. You gotta make sure that you're swinging your arms as aggressive as possible. Because watch this. Watch my jump with no arm swing versus with arm swing. Right? You see how much smoother that is? You see how much higher I went? So the second last step is when your arms go back behind you, and when you hit that block foot is when your arms swing up as aggressive as possible. You need that momentum to transfer horizontal into vertical speed. And the final thing you want to remember is staying tall with your chest. So when you're hitting your last 2 steps, you got to make sure that you're staying tall and your whole body is stacked on top of each other. Because if you're leaning forward into that jump, first of all, you're looking down, and when you do jump, you're gonna jump forward. And the same rule applies for 1-foot jumpers. Your last 2 steps are the fastest ones. Stay tall. The only difference is after your last step, you're gonna drive that other knee up into your chest or into the rim as hard as you can. The harder you drive that knee up, the higher you'll jump. Let me show you. Drop my hat. And a bonus tip for getting your first dunk, if you're catching the rim or let's say you're losing the ball on the way up, stop trying to palm the ball and stop trying to pull the rim down when you dunk. What you want to do is you want to cup the ball slightly. So you want to cuff it just like this. When you get your hand over the ball, throw it in. Don't grab the rim, don't pull the rim down, just get your hand over the ball and throw it in. I promise you, you're gonna be dunking a lot more consistent that way. A drill you can do to practice your jump technique is an approach jump. You're gonna start this with no step. You're only gonna take 1 step back, and all you're going to do, you're gonna swing forward, you're gonna block foot and pop up as quick as you can. So it pretty much looks like this. And you want to make the move as smooth as possible. And then when you get comfortable, take 1 step back. And you're pretty much going to do the same thing, stay low, pop, and jump straight. And the more comfortable you get with it, you can take more steps back. If you're a 1 foot jumper, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing. Only difference, you're gonna be going off 1 foot. So you're gonna take 1 step back and you're just gonna practice knee driving and jumping up as quick as you can off 1 foot. The more comfortable you get with it, take more steps back and keep practicing. And then eventually, you'll be throwing down like nothing. I hope that helps you guys out, and I can't wait till you get your first dunk.